The air in the living room thickened with the scent of lavender candles, their flickering flames casting jagged shadows on the walls, but it was the silence that choked me. My wife, Lila, sat across from me on the beige sofa, her fingers twisting the hem of her sweater, her hazel eyes darting to the window where dusk bled into the glass. She hadn't spoken in 10 minutes, not since her phone buzzed on the coffee table, its screen lighting up with a name I didn't recognize, Evan. I'd laughed it off at first, teasing her about her secret admirer, but her face had paled, her lips parting as if to speak, only to snap shut. That was the moment my stomach twisted, a cold, sharp pang like a blade slipping between ribs. We'd been married 7 years, Lila and I, our life a comfortable rhythm of shared coffee mugs and late-night Netflix binges in our modest Seattle bungalow. She was the vibrant one, her laughter like wind chimes, her stories from the art gallery where she worked always vivid, pulling me into her world. I was the steady one, a software engineer who found solace in lines of code and the predictability of routines. But lately, her stories had grown vague, her evenings at the gallery stretching longer, her phone always angled just out of view. I'd dismissed it as stress, her boss was demanding, the art world fickle. Now, as her phone buzzed again, the name Evan pulsing like a heartbeat, I wondered if I'd been blind. "Who's Evan?" I asked, my voice low, trying to keep it casual, but it cracked on the last syllable. Her fingers froze on her sweater, and she looked at me, her expression a flicker of panic before it smoothed into something practiced, almost serene. "Just a colleague," she said, too quickly, her voice a touch too bright. "He's helping with the new exhibit. You know, the abstract one I told you about." She reached for her phone, her thumb swiping the notification away, but her hand trembled. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the air felt wrong, heavy with something unspoken, like the moment before a storm breaks. The next few days, I watched her. Not overtly, I wasn't that guy, or so I told myself, but I noticed things. The way she'd slip her phone into her pocket when I entered the room, the faint blush on her cheeks when she thought I wasn't looking, the way her laughter at dinner felt forced, like she was performing for an audience of one. I hated myself for doubting her, for letting my mind spiral into dark corners where she was someone else's, her hands on another man's skin, her whispers meant for him. I rationalized it away. She was stressed, I was paranoid, we were fine. But the seed was planted, and it grew, thorny and relentless. Friday night, she said she had to stay late at the gallery for a private showing. I nodded, kissed her cheek, and watched her leave, her red coat disappearing into the rain-soaked street. The house felt too quiet without her, the hum of the refrigerator a mocking reminder of her absence. I poured a whiskey, the glass cold against my palm, and scrolled through my laptop, aimless, until I saw her email open in another tab. She hadn't logged out. My heart thudded, a traitor's rhythm, as I clicked. There they were, messages to Evan, dozens of them, stretching back months. Not just work talk, though there was that, too, curated and professional, but others, intimate, playful. "Missed you at the studio today." One read. "Can't stop thinking about last night." Another. My chest tightened, the words blurring as my breath hitched. I scrolled further, each email a fresh cut, until I found one from 2 weeks ago. "I'm scared, Evan. What are we doing? He doesn't deserve this." My glass slipped, whiskey pooling on the hardwood, its amber glow catching the light like blood. I don't remember deciding to go to the gallery, only the blur of rain on my windshield, the wipers screeching in rhythm with my pulse. The gallery was a sleek, modern space downtown, its windows glowing with soft light, the kind of place where wealthy patrons sipped wine and pretended to understand art. I parked across the street, my hands shaking as I gripped the steering wheel. I didn't know what I'd do, confront her, scream, beg? I just needed to see. Through the rain-streaked window, I saw her. Lila, in her black dress, her hair loose, laughing with a man who had to be Evan. He was tall, lean, with a casual confidence that made my skin crawl. They stood close, too close, her hand brushing his arm as she gestured at a painting. The intimacy was subtle but unmistakable, a language of glances and touches that spoke of secrets. I waited, my breath fogging the glass, hoping I was wrong, praying she'd step away. Then he leaned in, his lips grazing her ear, and she didn't pull back. She smiled. The world tilted. I wanted to storm in, to shatter their moment, but my body wouldn't move. Instead, I drove home, the rain a relentless drumbeat, my mind a war zone of anger and grief. When Lila came home an hour later, her hair damp, her smile too bright, I was waiting in the kitchen, the email still open on my laptop. "Tell me about Evan," I said, my voice a stranger's, cold and sharp. Her smile faltered, her eyes flicking to the screen. For a moment, she stood frozen, the air between us electric with dread. "Tom, it's not," she started, but her voice broke, and she pressed a hand to her mouth, tears welling. "I didn't mean for it to happen." "Didn't mean for what?" I snapped, standing now, my hands clenched. "For you to fall in love with him? For you to lie to me for months? What, Lila?" She flinched, her shoulders hunching as if my words were blows. "I was lonely," she whispered, her voice raw. "You were always working, always in your own world. Evan, he saw me. He listened." I laughed, a bitter sound that echoed in the quiet house. "So this is my fault. I loved you, Lila. I trusted you." My voice cracked, and I hated the weakness in it, the way my anger crumbled into hurt. "Was it worth it?" She sobbed then, sinking onto a chair, her face buried in her hands. "I'm sorry," she kept saying, the words hollow, meaningless. I wanted to hold her, to shake her, to rewind time to when her laughter was mine alone. But the truth was a chasm between us, and I couldn't cross it. The next morning, I found a note on the kitchen counter, her handwriting shaky. "I need time to figure out who I am. I'm staying with my sister. I'm so sorry, Tom." Her wedding ring sat beside it, glinting in the morning light, a cold, final punctuation. But the twist came later, when I checked my email, numb and hollowed out. A message from Evan, sent hours after Lila left. "Tom, I owe you the truth. It wasn't just Lila. I pushed her, manipulated her. I'm not a good man. She loves you, always has. Don't let my mistakes destroy what you have." Attached was a screenshot of a text from Lila to Evan, dated that morning. I told him, "I can't do this anymore. I love Tom, and I hate myself for hurting him." I sat there, staring at the screen, the ring in my hand, the weight of her betrayal now tangled with her regret. She'd broken us, but she hadn't stopped loving me. And somehow, that hurt more.